Alright, hey, so just a quick video to kind of go over this Pre-3.1 activity, especially for those that are going to be missing the class that we do this. So here's the activity that I kind of run you guys through. So consider the following equation: 3x plus 2y equals 18. Are you able to solve it? If I said, hey, take this equation and solve it, would you be able to do that? You're probably thinking, no, right? And why is that? You know, like, you're not going to be able to solve it, at least not in the way we've been solving equations lately. Normally getting a variable like x all by itself and figuring out what the solution is. You know, you end up with x equals 7 or x equals -3 as your final answer. So you're looking at this equation and you can't solve it, at least not the way we've been doing that lately. Why not? Why can't we solve this equation the way we've been solving other equations lately? Because there's two different variables. There's not only an x variable, but there's also a y variable. And if I told you, and I'm going to be running through this kind of quickly, so pause the video as needed, but what if I told you that y happened to equal 6? What if I told you that? Hey, you know what? Y equals 6. Could you solve the equation now? Well, yeah, because if y actually equals 6, you can make that replacement, and then, you know, 2 times 6 is 12, and now you could work on, you know, the little two-step process of getting x by itself. Subtract 12 the other side, and then divide both sides by 3, and what would you get? 2. I think you'd end up with x equals 2. But all you got to do is write this. We're not like totally mainly focused on what's this answer. Just the question about, like, if I told you this, could you solve it? Yes. If I told you that y equaled -2 instead, could you solve the equation? Well, yeah, of course. Same way, same situation, where you just replace the y with -2. I'm sorry, hit my keyboard. Oh, no. Oh, what is going on here? Must have hit some kind of weird button there. But, okay, back to this. If I said that y equaled -2, same thing. You'd replace y with -2, and now that you only have an x in there, you can then solve for x. You could make this into a -4, and then what? Dot, dot, dot. But what would you do? You would add 4 to both sides, and then you would divide both sides by 3. Grand finale here to warm us up for section 3.1. What if I told you that y didn't equal something like 6 or -2? What if I told you that y happened to equal x plus 4? Could you solve the equation then? Are you allowed to replace the y with this entire x plus 4? Yeah. If that's what y equals, then that's what y equals. And you can make that even-steven trade of, you know what, y, I'm going to replace you with x plus 4. And look at the equation we have now once we do that little switch. Is this now able to be solved for x? Yeah. Because now all you have in the equation is an x variable. And of course, what would you do next? You would then proceed to distribute the 2, right? And get 2x plus 8 along with everything else. And then what would you do next? Wouldn't you notice that, ooh, we have a couple like terms that's already on the same side together, so we might as well just combine them to be 5x. They just straight up combine, and then now we're in that little two-step situation where we just have to, like, subtract 8 over to the other side and then divide. Oh, there we go, dot, dot, dot. But what was important was realizing that if you know that y equals something like this, you don't have to leave it as just y. You can replace it with something equivalent that involves the other variable, and then you get something like this, an equation with only one variable at a time, which is now solvable. So I guess maybe the last thing I'll say, as a reminder, as a summary, this equation, not really solvable the way we want to solve things because it's got an x and a y. But this equation, definitely solvable, where we'd end up with what? Dot, 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 x equals 2, I believe. So, yeah, that does it for the warm-up activity, the pre-3.1 activity.